Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again, we have a great engagement here in between the two pro players from the South Korean scene. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As we have here spawning in the upper left in the red, it is the cute aka Pretty, and his opponent here in the lower right in the purple, it is BISU, it is aka Nice. We also see here the observer as the Terran with his command center killing his own SCV here into this location. The map name is called Byzantium, and I believe it is a 4 spawning location map here. So yeah, very interesting matchup here in between two pros, one of the best Protosses here in the game, especially when I talk here about, of course, BISU, but Pretty is of course not to be underestimated here, also very strong Protoss here, and we will need to be very careful here at the build order here in between these two pro players. What exactly is the difference is going to be. Currently they're just opening up here pretty standard with a pylon next to their location, so it should be followed up here with a gateway. Once again, we're checking here the timer. Yes, indeed, the same open up here for both players as we have passed the 1 minute mark. Small difference here is as Pretty is already moving out here with a scouting probe, but this probe could also be used to place some pylons in the middle of the map. But yeah, let's just see exactly what his plans is going to be here as he's moving out here. Luckily here for him, straight into the right direction, or is he going into the lower left? We're about to find out exactly what the plans here of Pretty are, and it looks like he's heading straight towards the main here from BISU. So this might be a 2 spawning location map, so Byzantium is the name. I still have to check this out. There is that gas here for BISU. Pretty should also have here his gas pretty soon up, as BISU now is just sending here his probe out, so much faster scouting here by Pretty against BISU. This should be of course the cybernetic score, as I'm pretty sure that both players will rely very strongly here onto their dragoons, and also zealots would be an option, but of course it's BISU, and we might even see some arbiters, we might see some carriers, as the probes are just fighting it out here a little bit, and BISU is actually heading here into this other location. So this could of course be a 4 spawning location map, so a lucky scout here for Pretty, heading straight into the right direction. Now the first dragoons should also be out really soon. We also have here this gateway and a very late cybernetic score here, interesting enough for Pretty. That is really a late cybernetic score. We also have that upgrade here for those dragoons, range upgrade. And yeah, what exactly perhaps Pretty is saving for a expansion, it could be a possibility here for him, as BISU is just chilling here with his zealot into this location, and there is that probe here from BISU coming in just to scout out the proximity. So yeah, first dragoon should be out here for Pretty. BISU a little bit faster here with his zealot and with his dragoons, as he's heading now into a second gateway, so we might see an early aggression here from BISU against his opponent. He did scout the main with this probe. He knows that there is only one gateway here for Pretty, so Pretty might save indeed for a expansion. So yeah, no strong engagement yet, even BISU playing it a little bit defensively here. Nice pylon into this location, of course, to spot any early move out with some shuttles here. And yeah, let's just see what exactly Pretty's plans are going to be. Still at one gateway, as he's sending out here his probe. He has enough minerals, so he's very likely going for a expansion, so this could be his advantage here, his economic advantage indeed, with this expansion here against BISU, as BISU is a little bit still behind given the fact that he has 2 gateways, but this also might indicate us that he's going to be very early aggressive here against Pretty. Perhaps he's waiting here for his 2 dragoons and is going for a straight attack here, as his probe is still here into this proximity. So of course the probe very much important. If he is going to scout here this expansion, he is very likely going for an attack, as he's slowly already moving out here in the middle of the map. His 2 dragoons are also following up here, so BISU with more supply here than his opponent, 35 versus 32, so still similar supply count here by both players, but BISU also having that zealot here. So in comes BISU with his 2 dragoons, more 2 dragoons here, so 4 dragoons, 1 zealot. Zealot should be in the front just to soak up those first shots here, and let's just see what exactly is going to happen here. So we have the first engagement here, BISU of course being much more aggressive here than his opponent, and he's even able to push those dragoons back. Pretty has to wait for his reinforcements. So yeah, BISU being the one targeting now here this expansion. Of course he has no expansion, he knows he has to be aggressive and the expansion has to be cancelled now. So yeah, BISU could just stay here into this position, into the high ground against his opponent, and let's just see, the opponent Pretty has a robotics facility bay and goes into more gateways now here. So he prepared a fast expansion build here, but only has 4 dragoons. BISU also securing here this point, and he might also go for an expansion here, but let's just see what his plans are. There's the robotics facility, and 1 dragoon caught a little bit off guard here by BISU, so taking some damage. Let's just check really quick if BISU has a robotics facility bay. Yes, indeed, he has a robotics facility bay, and BISU is just going to hold now this position really strongly here. I guess he's just going to block here the exit here from Pretty, but Pretty has this shuttle, so the shuttle is very important. We just might take that shuttle and just drop those units here really quick. BISU has no idea about this, so really nice move here by Pretty, and Pretty might even do an attack now on BISU, but finally the probe scouts this out, so BISU immediately reacting now as he's moving here forward. And yeah, we have another engagement here, so BISU not going to allow here this cheesy gameplay here. Nice gameplay here by Pretty indeed. So yeah, both players are still attacking each other here, so great stuff here by them. But if you look at the mini-map, BISU has that expansion, and he's now dealing more and more damage here towards Pretty, so nice engagement here by both players. This shuttle of course much important here just to micro those dragoons in and out, but BISU might snipe it here or easy, so really strong stuff here by both players. Both players are losing dragoons in the end. I believe BISU has an advantage here. He also sniped that shuttle, and in the end Pretty leaving here with 2 dragoons and 1 zealot, but this expansion is of course so much important here for BISU, as Pretty now also making his expansion, but from the timing on, BISU's expansion of course much better now here than his opponent. There's also a Reaver Bay here, so we might see some Reavers really soon here for Pretty, and an observatory. Let's just check BISU's main, another gateway, observatory, no Reaver Bay here for him. And yeah, things once again have settled down as both players have retreated. Both players do accept the fact that they have an expansion, and there is a Reaver. Interesting enough, did I miss that Reaver Bay here from BISU? Am I blind, guys? I still can't find it. Really nicely hidden. There it is. There's that Reaver Bay here from BISU. So yeah, great stuff here by him, hiding it. Not even I did see. Of course the Reaver much important here if you are a Protoss. Dragoons, Zealots not really that much used, but Mass Dragoons with some Reavers and with those shuttles really very much used here by both players as the Protoss. And we also have a similar work account here, 35 for BISU and also 35 here for Pretty, as we look now with BISU in the front with those 2 Reavers, and there's only 1 Reaver here for Pretty, but notice that he has no shuttle yet, or at least he's just making one now. So yeah, BISU is moving forward. There's this shuttle here, and some probes are finally being produced now and transferred here by Pretty, but Pretty's pylons here really nicely placed, so the shuttle already will take some damage. There are those 2 Reavers dealing good splash damage here against those dragoons, but also taking lots and lots of damage here, so BISU needs to be careful. And yeah, he's going to leave here his 2 dragoons, one however much hurted here, really taking damage here. BISU a little bit sloppy here. Is he really going to lose those Reavers? So yeah, what a mistake here for BISU. I don't know what exactly was up with that. In the end he did, of course. No, sorry about this one, I did miss this, but in the end he did lose those 2 Reavers. Perhaps he was busy microing here his dragoons out of harm. But yeah, he did snipe a lot of workers, but in the end, was it worth it here for him losing those 2 Reavers? So of course BISU has to retreat now, as this, so he still has more supply, but in the end, remember 2 Reavers have been sniped here, so such an important unit here for the Protoss to have. And yeah, once again things are settling down here. Of course BISU is going to recover with some units. There's a nice observer here being parked by Pretty, and we have once again that shuttle speed being done here, so Pretty needs to be careful against a drop perhaps into this position. Would be very strong here as BISU is moving out here with his shuttle. There it is. So yeah, Pretty might try to come in here and just snipe it. It would be very interesting to see as we have passed the 10-minute mark now. So BISU needs to be very careful here. The question is, does BISU have an observer here into the main from Pretty? I don't see one yet. Not seeing it on the minimap either. So yeah. And I believe the observer here for BISU is out. I believe he has also killed the observer here from Pretty. So yeah, things once again have settled down as BISU perhaps preparing here once again a launch towards the main here from Pretty. But both players really at the same count here of supply, even at the same count of workers as we have passed the 10-minute mark here. So once again things have settled down. Both players are perhaps now just protecting their second expansion point here, as pretty soon they will very likely going to take it. And yeah, things once again have settled down. Like I told you, more and more gateway units are being placed. Also more and more reavers should be of course made here, and we even have some Dark Templars now being produced as we see that fast shuttle here. But Pretty really smart here, and he also has that Templar archive here, so he very likely, interesting enough, goes for High Templars. So High Templars with Psionic Storm, really strong with splash damage, but they really need to be protected here. So yeah, so that they can unleash of course that Psionic Storm against their opponents. Two Reavers here nicely defending this position. And yeah, BISU of course is now very likely going to take here this position. Lots of minerals here for Pretty. I believe he's probably saving here for something. We're about to find out what exactly it is going to be. And it looks like a expansion here. So he has chosen this point here, and BISU has chosen this point. At the same time, he's also moving out here once again at the middle of the map. 0-0 upgrades here for BISU. Let's check Pretty. Also 0-0, so both players not giving much importance here towards their upgrades. And yeah, it's just a cat and mouse game here. Both players are just teasing each other, not really attacking, just defending the important points here on this map. So yeah, we're still about to wait for a very strong engagement here in between these two pro players. As now we also have the first Archons here. Archons of course really strong with that splash damage. And yeah, more and more gateway units it is going to be here for BISU, as he's already having here 11 gateways here. High Templars are also being spawned. Let's check the main here from Pretty. Is also really massively going here for gateways, but hold on, we actually had a Dark Templar here that in the end has been sniped, so not that much economic damage has been dealt here by BISU, as still both players, if you look at the worker count, 46 versus 47 here. So yeah, sorry that I missed this one. BISU is really fast here with his shuttle, I believe it was, but in the end of course Pretty having enough here to defend with that observer, with those dragoons. So yeah, things once again are settling down here, and I believe BISU might take this position, but in the end the probe from Pretty will of course be sniped. And still no more updates here for BISU. At the same time, Pretty now moving out here with his forces. He has enough pretty soon to have enough power to unleash 2 Psionic Storms. So remember, one High Templar can unleash 2 Psionic Storm here against their opponents. And there is BISU once again with those 2 Reavers looking really strong. And he of course now has to come back to defend his expansion. Just needs to find a good position here against his opponent, as he's very heavy on Archons here with Zealots in the front, with Dragoons. Notice he has also more supply here than Pretty. So yeah, Pretty once again on the defense. The reinforcements might get sniped here by BISU. And look at that, a small point here with Pretty here snapping some of those cannons here. But in the end, yes, things once again are settling down. Of course, Pretty has to regroup here with his shuttle, with his 2 Reavers. They're very important here, as BISU now is moving out here on the map. Perhaps he's going to go for this choke point, but Pretty also now retreating here just to regroup, just to defend. And yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to happen here, as BISU is attacking now here. The first shots are being thrown here by against those Zealots here by BISU. BISU looking really strong, finding a good position, a nice choke point here for him as he's moving here forward. But a great Psionic Storm here against all of those Zealots here for BISU. BISU taking so much splash damage out of those high Templars. Look at that, he's not even microing those Dragoons out. Interesting enough here by BISU. What a mistake here by him, as the Dragoons now will be kited back and forward here by Pretty. I guess BISU feeling very confident here against his opponent. But interesting enough, it was of course very hard to outmicro that high Templar Storm. Once again a storm, and even the Weaver gets stormed also. So many successful storms here for Pretty, and BISU taking so much splash damage here. And in the end, the Psionic Storm is just being shown to us how strong it can be. But BISU follows up here with another group of Zealots and some Dark Templars. Yeah, those high Templars really great value here for Pretty against BISU. BISU finding it difficult, of course. He knows much better than us. Perhaps he knows that there is no point into outmicroing that Psionic Storm, as it's really dealing so much amounts of splash damage. Now here we have BISU into this expansion point, going to deal some economic damage here. That Archon should deal splash damage towards those probes, and look at that, let's just have a look at the kills. 7 kills already for this Archon here, dealing so much damage against those probes. Really nice job here by this hero Archon. In the end, of course, this will be cleared by Pretty, but the economic damage has already been done here by BISU. And yeah, things once again are settling down in the end. BISU also taking here this expansion point, long distance mining here by him. And let's have a look once again at his army composition. He's going for those Zealots. One weapons upgrade has been done. Pretty also with that one weapons upgrade here for him. And yeah, once again both players are preparing another assault here. Another upgrade is being done, almost done here by BISU. Level weapons 2 upgrades. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 20-minute mark here. So nice hold here in the end by Pretty. He did lose some workers here against BISU. But yeah, and BISU also having one more expansion here than his opponent. So if these things go on like this, of course Pretty knows this here with his observer. Also he needs to be careful not to get sniped here. So nice job here by BISU in the end, taking out this observer. And yeah, let's just see how Pretty is going to react, when exactly he's going to expand here as well. He's now taking here this expansion point, knowing of course that BISU has this expansion and more workers here than him. He needs to react. Supply wise, all of a sudden both players at the same count here. And yeah, I believe BISU should have has now this 2 upgrades, 2 weapons upgrades. Only 1 weapons upgrades here for Pretty, but I'm pretty sure that he's going to follow up here with more and more upgrades. And there it is, a little bit delayed here over weapons 2 upgrades, as both players might once again meet now in the middle of the map here. And yeah, once again just poking around a little bit, just checking the water here. And there's a nice group here of Zealots, so an assault group here towards that expansion point. There are some cannons here, so BISU has to retreat of course, as once again Pretty is nicely splitting here his troops as he's heading straight towards that cannon, now dealing good damage here. Might snipe a probe or 2 with his Dark Templar. Dark Templar really dealing so much economic damage, already having 4 kills here. So nice job here by this Dark Templar. And yeah, Pretty just dealing some economic damage, killing 4 workers here and just retreating. So good stuff here by him, just keeping BISU at bay, just keeping him at home. And as he's having now 4 Archons already and nice high Templars here, really many high Templars here, 3 high Templars. So those 3 high Templars will be of course very much important here for Pretty. Pretty has shown us how strong they are against BISU. BISU not so heavy on high Templars, having more Zealots and Dragoons I believe it is, and some Archons here. And Pretty actually now feeling very confident to move out here against his opponent, against BISU. BISU of course should know this here with his observers, and we might have another strong engagement here in the middle of the map. BISU tries to find a good position, a good flank here, as in come the Zealots in the front just to immediately kill that pylon here. And now BISU's perhaps just waiting for that good flank, perhaps even for an attack from the back, as his Zealots are already in the front. There's that Psionic Storm once again. BISU this time regrouping in the back, and he needs to be really careful. There's so many high Templars here for Pretty here, as now BISU finally finds this one tank with Psionic Storm, also catching some of the Zealots here from Pretty. And yet another defensive Psionic Storm here, dealing once again so much BISU having so much supply here, but he's also taking so much splash damage here. As Pretty is just kiting back here and just casting storm after storm here, killing BISU here. BISU needs to be careful, he's just walking into a trap as he's going to follow up like this. And BISU also lost so many workers here at that expansion. He has only 36 workers now, and he was being lured into a trap. Look at all of his zealots taking so much damage here. As he needs to retreat, of course. He has more Archons, I believe, against his opponent. But in the end, those High Templars, really great here for Pretty. Still one High Templar could cast 2 more storms. As Pretty now even feeling confident to move out. He has more supply here than BISU. And BISU finally now opting also to go for High Templars here against Pretty. So both players pretty balanced here, but more High Templars here for Pretty. Look at that, 4 High Templars. Needs to be careful here with his 4 High Templars not to get sniped. Feeling really confident, and let's just see what exactly is going to happen. Massive amounts of splash damage should happen here. Great stuff here by Pretty, once again dealing so much splash damage here against each other. Really nice stuff, but Pretty having more and more splash damage being done now. The Archons are dealing splash damage towards each other, but BISU also having those 2 Reavers in the back. Pretty not so heavy on Reavers, actually no Reavers at all here for him. This once again coming in, but those High Templars really dealing so much splash damage. Even the Reavers now getting splashed, and look at that, all of the army here from BISU seems to have fallen really low. Same can be said here for Pretty. He also has many casualties here, and yeah, who is still going to be the winner here of this matchup? Remember, Reavers also have to make Scarves, but in the end the High Templars only are trading mana here for their Psionic Storm. As once again it looks like Pretty once again is moving out with those, once again, his strong High Templars here, showing us that High Templars perhaps would have been a better choice against the Reavers here for BISU. And let's just see what exactly is going to happen. More supply now here for Pretty against BISU, as Pretty even takes here this expansion. And worker wise, BISU still sits at 36 workers versus the 44 from Pretty, so we have 8 more workers here for Pretty. As once again he's moving here forward, and look at that, BISU taking so much damage here. 28 workers now here for him. It's really hard to out micro here. These storms, they just inflict so much damage, you can almost, it's like impossible to out micro it. Also as a Zerg, if you have so many units clumped up together, you can literally just not out micro these Psionic Storms. So this is exactly what the plan here from Pretty is going to be here with his High Templars. Such a strong unit to have. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing that 25-minute mark. BISU still only with his units. These Reavers will of course be very important here for him, but he needs to be careful. That shuttle also took lots of damage here, as now BISU is moving out here on the map. Feels really confident, so Zealots versus Zealots is going to be here once again in the middle of the map. Let's just see what exactly is going to happen. A great Psionic Storm here, dealing good amount of splash damage, income more and more High Templars. So much splash damage is being dealt here, and BISU looks like he's going to lose here this game. Indeed, he has to GG out. Those High Templars here from Pretty, way much stronger here than the Reavers here from BISU. An early better game here for BISU, but in the end Pretty very much punishing here BISU with those High Templars, with that Psionic Storm. And like I told you, really hard to out micro that storm. Let's just check those stats really quick, guys, in case you guys are interested. Once again, I'm going to be clicking left and right here. Nice APM here by both players, 360. And yeah, let me just click, like I told you, left and right in case you guys are interested for those statistics. But yeah, great PvP against about these 2 pro players. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay as much as I did. I will be casting more, of course, on this channel. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Tommy signing out.